Did you hear me? Let me get it turned on.
I call this meeting to order. If everybody would stand for the pledge and a moment of silence for everyone that protects us. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Lori.
Majeski,
Here.
Fitchburg,
Here.
Rouse,
Here.
Fitzpatrick,
Mark.
Casco,
Here.
Copeland,
Here.
and Brown.
Here. Okay, everybody had a chance to look over the agenda. No additions, Tracy?
I would like to ask that the Board of Commissioners add under physical resources, discussion pertaining to the Drain Commission travel expense for 2020.
So with that addition, do I want a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make the motion. We accept the agenda as presented.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, Lori.
One moment, please. I'm sorry, I'm having computer issues. Dale made the motion and Jeff seconded.
Yep.
Majeski,
Yes.
Casco,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
and Brown.
Yes.
Lori.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fitchburg. I missed you, sorry.
Okay, we have the minutes for the board meeting for October 21st. Motion to
I'll
accept.
make a motion to accept those minutes for the 21st.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Leonard, second by Dale. Questions, comments? Nothing? Lori?
Strauss,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Casco,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Motion carried. I have kind of a motion for the special meeting for November 13th, 2020. We must have missed one a long time ago.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
November 13th.
No, we didn't have a meeting in November.
We didn't have a meeting. We had a special.
Okay,
meeting.
so up here it says October 2021 for the first one. So we'll have to fix that. That's what screwed me up.
Okay, that.
November 1 was the one that,
I meant to point that out to Tracy, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Okay, November 13th.
yeah, the November one was the one that Leonard and I were at physically.
Oh, yeah, we had a short one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we had you on Zoom.
Good meeting, Dave.
Okay. I have a motion.
We approved to sell, let him sell a tractor.
Jeff and Dave. Jeff made the motion.
So what?
Go ahead. Nothing.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept those
Yeah,
minutes?
he did it in a second.
Okay,
That's what I was telling you.
Dave's got you all for as a
it's been a long morning already. Okay, roll call, Lori.
Casco,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Strauss.
Yeah.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, general public comment. Anybody, Jesse?
I am not seeing any raised hands.
Okay. Communications list, anybody have anything on there they would like to discuss or talk about?
I had my hand raised. Hello?
We can hear you.
Who is it?
Brown.
Brown N.
Can you state your name first, please? Bronwyn,
Can you hear me?
yes, can you state your name before speaking?
Yes, Bronwyn Asplund.
Thank you.
Yes. I just have one question about the minutes. I'm not sure if this is where I place it or if I wait. You tell me what's the best procedure in your preference? The agenda. I have a question regarding the agenda today.
Public comment's good.
Okay, I notice on the agenda for today, you have set to be on the agenda, the meeting dates for the county commissioners for next year. I think the first meeting date is fine, but you have new county commissioners coming in that should be a part of that decision, I think. I don't care one way or another, but I think I see Sandra Bristol's on call here. But I think there are others that might want to comment on the meeting dates. And I think that should be set aside other than the first meeting on your agenda.
Yeah, it's page over here. Three. Yeah.
It's under finance, I believe.
Added that one in September, right, Tracy?
Aren't these the same as last?
We'll add it. We'll have to add it, but
What page is that on, you know?
it's 89.
Oh, yeah, I see it, yeah. Doesn't matter to me, it probably makes sense, new people want to make their own decisions, all right with me.
Doesn't matter to me either.
I don't care.
I think if we could discuss the time as well.
We'll talk about that when we get there then. Okay. What else, Jesse, is there?
That I've seen.
Okay, so back to the communications list. Anybody have anything? Nothing?
The governor sent us a letter.
All set then?
Mhm.
Okay, Tracy, your report?
I included a report in the packet for you, but I do just have a couple other things. Just wanted to let you know that the House bill regarding the term limits for county commissioners is still in the works. That yet, but they are still working on that one. And also that we sent an invoice to Gail for the airport restaurant for rent payments for April and May because we had not received those. She paid, it was actually April, May, and June. She paid for June's and sent a note back to the board asking if the board would please forgive the months of April and May because they were closed due to COVID.
Did you receive any of the money that was out there for business?
I don't believe she did, because I had mentioned that to her when I was talking to her on the phone.
Everybody think?
I think it's reasonable.
Anyone else?
It's been trying and difficult times here. I think we need to be flexible.
We need a vote on that?
Probably should.
Yes, please.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Leonard, second by Dale to forgive those 2 months.
Forgive the months of April and May rent payments
We forgiving them totally, or we just putting them on the other end?
for the airport restaurant.
Anybody have anything else?
I don't know where she'd be making that up.
We just put it on the back end or?
So I said, I don't know how she'd be making that up if,
No, because they're still closed now. You know,
I do believe they are right now.
Hmm.
So,
And she's made every other payment but those two.
yes, and she just made the June payment
Okay.
as well, the one that was back. Other than that, she's been paying them right along.
You want to do roll call, Lori?
That was a forgive, not a put on the back, right?
The 2 months
Yeah,
of
forgive.
rent for the restaurant for April and May.
Yes,
Yes.
Majewski,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hoagland,
yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried.
thank you.
Anything else for Tracy? No? Okay. Do we have a report from Lori?
Yes.
She's on.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey there.
Hi. So we ended our fiscal year. I'll start with code enforcement. I do have a report there on your desk. We ended our year taking in $164,000 in building permits, 85,000 in electrical permits, 38,000 in plumbing permits, and 20,000 in mechanical permits. We assigned a total of 87 new addresses for the fiscal year. As you know, last year, fiscal year, we added Lincoln and Freeman Township to our list of jurisdictions. I've enclosed a list of the jurisdictions in your packet there. And we are also receiving $18,000 a year with our intergovernmental agreement with the city of Clare for rental and zoning enforcement, and that's going quite well. We ended our year with a fund balance of $71,000, and we did purchase a vehicle. We paid for cash, purchased a vehicle out before the end of the year. All of our permits now can be filled out and sent online right from our website, as well as Jenny hooking us up with payment being able to be done right online. People still do it over the phone. That's fine. Our office is open. We're not closed. We're open to the public from 7:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Our end of the fiscal year 20 numbers for senior services, we served 94,658 meals, which 85,261 were home delivered meals. Our congregate meal program has been curbside pickup only since March and will continue for an indefinite amount of time. That depends on the state and federal regulations. We are still creating our own frozen meals and ensuring seniors have shelf-stable meals in the event a meal cannot be delivered. But fortunately, we have not had to shut down in any manner. We have spent 30,701 hours taking care of seniors in their home this fiscal year, providing assistance with personal hygiene needs, housekeeping, grocery shopping, relief for caregivers, and just general activities of daily living. Our caseworkers, we have 2 of them. They spent 3,073 and a half hours of coordinating services from seniors, anywhere from attaining meals, home help, to coordinating home repairs, heating assistance, medical transportation, prescription medication assistance, attaining durable medical equipment. They also do, if there's more of a need and somebody is bound for a nursing home, eligible for a nursing home, but they can't be in a nursing home because of financial reasons. We have referrals that we do to waiver, of course, which then again turns around and pays us to go into the home 7 days a week to assist. We also refer to PACE, which is out of Mount Pleasant. It's an all-encompassing program. Our caseworkers help make sure that the needs of the elderly clients are met each and every day. So they help with financial issues, medical care, mental disorders, and social problems. This year's been extra difficult, helping people adjust to the challenges of growing older. We are continuing to stagger our time in the office and time working from home, those that can, so that everyone is not together. If someone has to quarantine or become sick, I can't have everybody down at once. We also have found new heights of productivity away from meetings, which I personally appreciate, and little office chit chat. IT has been very helpful in assisting us with all of the tools we need to make this happen and ensure our clients continue to be well cared for. There are some of us that prior to the pandemic starting, because we are a 7-day-a-week organization and we start so early in the morning and end later at night, there are some of us that have been able to remote prior to the pandemic, but IT's really helped us, through this. We received over $1.6 million in revenue this year. $807,902 was from millage. $119,866 was from donations. $424,608 was from grants. And then we have our third-party contracts, like with Medicaid waiver, and that was $336,095. Our expenses were a total of 1.5 million, which ended our year with a fund balance of over $100,000. In December of 2018, you approved our staff a 1.5% payment incentive as opposed to a permanent increase in pay. We had ended that year with a fund balance of approximately $50,000, and the 1.5% payment in lieu of a pay increase cost our program about $9,200. I did not ask for this for our employees last year because this program could not afford it. As you know, we are not funded by the general fund. We are funded by completely separate. We're a fund. March 2020, you approved a 50-cent increase for our kitchen employees and our home health aides, which took their wages on an average from $10.10 per hour to $10.60 per hour, and $11.15 per hour to $11.65 per hour, respectively. And I thank you again for that approval. Today, on the agenda, I will be asking you for a 2% payment of an employee's yearly wage, as opposed to a permanent pay increase for all of my staff. This will be a total cost of under $14,000 and would not come out of the general fund. All staff, with the exception of the kitchen and the in-home staff, have not seen a permanent increase since 2015. Our programs are not funded out of the general fund. None of our expenses come from the general fund. I have one union position which would be exempt from this. However, this position has received a 1.5% increase in 2018 and a 1.5% increase in 2019, which is also not funded by the general fund. It's funded by our fund. I move on to our engineering was completed last week for the senior kitchen in Clare. It's now being reviewed by USDA, the USDA engineer. Once we have their approval, we can put the project out to bid. USDA regulations state that we have to allow 30 days for the bidding process. Once that time period is up, we can choose a contractor and sign contracts. I've attached drawings for your review if you can actually see them. I know it's small. There's one more thing I'd like to discuss with you, and that is, I apologize, it's not on my report, but I just talked with USDA about this last night. Dale and I discussed it last week. As you know, we have a revolving loan fund for small business development, and we've had this fund for many years. The money's all been loaned out and it comes back in payments monthly. So we have a committee that does that I do, discuss this with at times, but we haven't had anybody apply for a loan to start a new business in quite some time. I believe there's about $120,000 in that fund. It's defederalized. It's come back as defederalized money, but still needs to go out to businesses. I discussed it with USDA and would like to pursue, with your blessing, to offer this money to struggling businesses in our county. And we can set the guidelines however you want to set the guidelines, as far as not starting a payment for a year or 6 months. You can set the interest rate, but there has to be some sort of an interest rate, 1%, 2%. And they can't, the previous guidelines, they could not borrow more than $30,000. We could do 10 to 15,000. I don't know if you're aware, but when there was money that came out through the CARES Act that was distributed throughout the counties, there were just a few businesses that received that money in this area. And I think the maximum amount was about $1,800, which really isn't a lot. This is something that the county could provide for some struggling businesses in this area. We would I could get the criteria together, email it to you, see what you think about it, and then get this processed. I'd also have to take it to our committee, but I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
Everybody
Well-
think?
Well, Lori, as we discussed, I think it's an excellent idea, and especially the backing of the USDA. I think it's a great thing to do for the community. You know, we had talked about the interest. I think the 1% would be would be a good percentage. Maybe defer the payments for 6 or 9 months, something like that. So I think that's one of the criteria.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
There's a lot of people out there that really need
Yeah.
it. So I'm okay with it as well.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. I will, Mike Dugan is on the committee, and I did speak with him this morning about it. So I'm going to put together a packet of the criteria and get it out to everybody today. Make your comments, your suggestions, and then we can, the county can go out and advertise for this, and we'll get some applications in.
Do we need to put this in motion form to
Yeah, I think we do.
to pursue this?
I think so.
I would wait until she gets all the documents ready and
You want to
then,
wait until you get everything together in the criteria, and then we move with a motion for you to pursue?
Yes, I apologize that I don't have it completely ready. I didn't, the gal that I speak with USDA was on vacation and she didn't get back until yesterday. So I didn't speak with her until last night.
Lori, I would like to see the repayment be like 9 months, at least then that way we can let people get through the summer next year. Hopefully we have a good summer and give them a little bit more opportunity instead of 6 months.
Okay.
6 months or 9 months?
Especially with the COVID
Mhm.
things that are happening.
Is there a chance that we could extend it farther if we wanted to, if, let's say, COVID extended into May?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. So then we could look at it again in the future, and if things haven't improved, then we could extend it. So,
Definitely. Okay, I will get the information together and I will get it to all of you. I don't have email addresses. Tracy, could you make sure I get the email addresses of the new board members, please?
yes, I can do that.
Thank you. Any questions for me?
Like your hair.
I'm going off the video. Thank you.
thanks, Lori. Okay, with that, we have a closed session that we need to go into. If I have a motion, and at that time, nobody from the public will be able to see that session. Jesse will blank it out. Nobody will be able to see or hear it, and we will return after we are done, and they'll be able to join right back in, Jesse?
Yep, I'll let them right back in as soon as we say that we're back and open.
Perfect.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Second. Do I have a roll call, Lori? You're gonna have.
Strauss,
Yes.
Chesky,
Yes.
Casper,
Yeah.
Brown,
Yes.
Copeland,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes.
You give me just a minute to get ready.
You gotta leave me on, Jess.
And Randy Fields.
Is it okay to leave John on and Randy on?
Yes.
Give me a minute to reset my computer here.
Were you in Lake yesterday? With that,
No, I was doing my end of that up here.
that was, I swear, I do not have any idea how that guy did not hit the gas pump. And I have no idea how he missed the tail end of my trailer going out of that gas station.
Once we figured, okay, if it's this guy we're thinking we're gonna call it, and that's when he rammed our car.
That's when I'm sitting there and I see him pull over and then all of a sudden I see him trying to back up and it's like, what is he doing? And then he hits the cop car and I'm like, what are you doing? And then he does it again and I'm like, okay.
Stole like 3 cars out of Mount Pleasant in the last 3 weeks. His friend's last.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay, so we've got John still in, but I don't see Randy on the list. What was his last name? Field?
Field.
Field?
Randy, are you there?
If he's already in the waiting room, he's not going to be able to
Oh, okay.
resume the recording, and I'm going to start letting people back in.
You guys caught all that? The way the world is, I think that was a big factor. As far as legal or policy, even Myrma agreed. Like, what do you want us to do?
We're back up and running.
Okay. Want to make the motion?
Second.
Second. Motion made by Leonard, second by
You
Dale.
want to say the motion for the public?
Read it, I can't remember.
So Strauss made the motion and Majeski, Commissioner Majeski seconded. Motion to accept the recommendation of legal counsel in the case of Clemens versus Clare County, correct?
you.
Roll call?
Yep.
Okay. Strauss,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Oakling,
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Pitchford.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay. Okay, now we're on to Michelle. Is she on?
She is.
He's coming in.
She's coming down.
Oh, did we take the sign down?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
I didn't realize it wasn't just taped.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Morning.
Doing good.
Oh, Stephanie, welcome. Welcome. And Dave and Leonard, thank you both so much for your service. I'll be sad not to see you at the round table next year, but I appreciate it.
I don't always agree, but I always appreciated your honesty on it.
Well, yep, and I appreciate your honesty and straight talk. It's always refreshing. Okay, I see I lost one of my Post-it notes on my way here. It's in the hallway. I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys a little bit about raising the salary for the open assistant prosecutor positions, currently at 51,000 and some odd cents, and I'm asking you to raise it to 57,000. And there's many reasons why. The posting has been open since October 22nd, and I've had 3 applicants. I am vying against 19 other open positions within the state and prosecutors' offices. And quite frankly, we're seeing a problem and difficulty filling those positions because the MIDC pays better.
Mhm.
The attorneys here in our county on MIDC are getting $100 an hour. The arraignment attorney who shows up and meets with a client for maybe 20 minutes or so to go on record and talk about bond is getting $100 an hour. This assistant prosecutor position, as it's currently set, is making about $25 an hour. They could work in Walmart or as a manager at Taco Bell for $25 an hour. And part of the reason that Claire stated that she left is because not only was she only getting paid $25 an hour and handling the caseload, but she then ultimately had to handle the caseload of 2 assistant prosecutors, because remember, we didn't fill Autumn's position when she left in March. And so extra work, same pay, and she went on and she's now making 70 with MIDC in Isabella County. I get we are a small county. I understand that we are going to bring people in, train them and send them on to bigger counties. But if you seriously want to attract young professional people to this community so they can stay and make our community better, we need to start offering an appropriate wage. And so that's what I'm asking. We have an individual out of the 3 candidates that we're interested in. We are vying and competing against another county for that particular individual. And right now they're paying more. And we need to fill the spots. I have over 224 cases on my docket alone that I am handling right now. And my chief assistant is right there with me. She's pushing closer to 300 cases because she does the child support work for our office. So we need to fill the position. We need to be competitive. And we have a grant to bring the other attorney position back. But that money is not coming out of the general fund. And so I need you to think about those things because it's frustrating to sit and tell attorneys, especially those who are coming out of law school who have bills to pay, families to feed, and the mountain of debt that they have because they went to get the degree that they received, that we can't pay them. And then there is no step increase. So once they come in at that position, they aren't ever guaranteed another raise because the county doesn't ever have money. And I can't get anybody on board to do step increases for attorneys, that you come in at a certain salary and you know that after you work here for a year to 2 years to 3 years, your salary is at least going to go up. You're going to get compensated for the work that you're doing for the county and the training that you've received for the county to provide good service. So
What are the other counties offering?
other counties are off. Right now, Eaton County has 2 positions open. I could go there and work as an assistant prosecutor, make more than I make now as the elected, if that gives you any indication. But an assistant prosecutor there would make anywhere from 58 to 85,000, depending on, I think 85 was the top, on what they make and their experience.
From the research I did with this, Michigan is the 4th lowest in the nation for pay for assistant prosecuting attorneys in the nation.
And it's hard to swallow when you're watching an arraignment attorney here make $100 an hour. And all they have to do is talk to the defendant for a short period of time to argue bond. They aren't talking to witnesses. They aren't talking to police officers. They aren't getting the calls in the middle of the night to do search warrants. They aren't doing all of the additional work that we do. I mean, those cases that I'm telling you are on my caseload, those are the ones that we charged. I'm not even talking to you about the ones that I had to spend time reading to say, no, we aren't going to charge this one. We do so much more. And so I think
I'd like to reiterate what you said, to bring in quality people to stay. And I think this would be setting a precedent for the entire county organization, because there is issues in other departments as well with pay to secure and retain quality employees.
Michelle, if you could make more money down, where did you say, Eaton County? Why wouldn't you move down there?
because I live here.
What draws you to Clark County?
What draws me here? I've lived here since 2003. I love it. It's my home.
It's a lot better living up here than it is down in the city.
Well, yes, I get frustrated when we have, school lets out here at 3 and it's a traffic jam and I'm like, where are all the people coming from? So no, when I get into cities, I don't want to live in a big city. I want to live here. This is my home.
And that's worth more than the pay.
It is for me. But when you're asking young people to come here from somewhere else and to set up, you do have to offer and you have to be competitive.
That's your question, Michelle.
Mhm.
We put on millage there for, animal control and one from MSU Extension. It's going to make, I think, our money problem here a little easier. What, you have any thoughts on long-term answer to our money problem here in Clare County, being probably, the second or third poorest counties in the state.
Yeah, it's an issue. And you have to look at your long-term goals. What do you as a board intend to do to help make Clare County a better place to live and to attract people? Because you aren't going to bring people here unless you encourage industry to come in, and encourage people to come here. And, we've done a lot of good work. The city's done a lot of good work with their grants and the business incubator. And I know Lori Phelps works hard to bring all of that in. But we have to be proactive about that. And one of those things is to reduce crime. Nobody wants to live here if their stuff's going to get stolen and, everything else. So
When we first talked about this, when you lost that year, the person, you thought, I think you mentioned we'd be bringing in somebody at a lower, what she left at. Talk about that or
no,
salary equal to what the one you lost or just lower?
this would be higher. One that left was making 51,000 and some odd change. I don't remember the exact figures off the top of my head, but it was on my sticky note that's somewhere in the hallway between here and my office. That'll teach me for writing on Post-it notes. So I'm asking for a small raise, and I guarantee that position won't see another raise for years.
Am I allowed to make a comment? This is Lori Phelps.
Go ahead, Lori.
In June, when I was helping Michelle with a grant, just me coming in unbiased, doing the research to get a grant for her department, I discovered that their caseload, they had three, I believe at the time it was 3 prosecuting attorneys in the office, and their caseload was 289 cases each. That's what the average was that they were carrying for that year. That just astounded me that those were the amount of active cases that they were actually pursuing. And I just found it very interesting and just wanted to make the comment for what it was worth.
Thanks, Lori. And if you look at the standards for MIDC, they're capped, make sure that they're doing efficient work for their attorneys at 150 felonies per attorney per year, or 400 non-traffic misdemeanors per year. Or if they're handling a mix, then it's a weighted mixture of the two. So an example would be 75 felonies and 200 non-traffic misdemeanors per year. We exceed that.
Tracy, where would we pull this additional funding from? Because it's going to have to come from general fund.
That should have to come from contingency.
Well, how much is in contingency now?
We have.
We set aside.
Hold on just a second, I can tell you.
And then that would, from there on after, that would increase the budget of the prosecuting attorney's office.
That, by that amount in the plus FICA and Medicare.
I'm gonna behave myself, Michelle, when I leave the board here, so I don't think I'll be costing any more money.
Oh, Leonard.
80,000.
80,000.
Is there a motion here? Does anybody want to make that motion?
I will say that personally, from what I've seen over the last 2 years, looking at the budgets and what, Michelle's been really good with her budget, and I really don't think that she would come before the board and ask us this if she didn't think that we really needed it. So I would be prepared to make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion made by David, seconded by Stephanie. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Copeland,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yep.
Pascal,
No.
Majeski,
No,
Pittsford.
Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hopefully that will solve your problem. You can hire somebody.
I hope so. Nice to have some time at night. Need to stay for the next one?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they need to.
I'll stay here just in case there's a question.
Okay. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you take number one,
That's on the increase there.
the vehicle for the grant?
Next page.
Okay, vehicle for grant position?
Yep.
Motion to allow the purchase of a vehicle for our officer's position with funds to be paid from the general fund and reimbursed via OGP grant funds in the amount of $13,995.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Leonard, second by Jeff. Mitch had contacted me about this, and it was one of those things, he had to have a decision right away, or he was going to lose the car. He had talked to Michelle, and Michelle had agreed for the funds. I had double checked with Tracy, and everybody was in agreement. So I gave him the go-ahead to get this car. It was probably 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so this is just kind of a formality. If he did not get the car that day, there was somebody else that was waiting for the car and they were willing to pay more money, but they were holding it for mid. Everybody is aware of that situation.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
It is in policy that these types of things go before the board. In my opinion, there should have been a special meeting called for that. I don't believe there's any statute or anything in county policy that gives the board chair authority to make decisions, especially expenditures. There is statute that says the opposite of that. And I don't know if all of you are aware of that. Sam, I don't even know if you're aware of that. The administrator, I'm sure is. That was a direct violation of statute and county policy. I just wanted to point that out. And this isn't the first time this has happened. And with you, Sam, I believe it is. I did give direction to the administrator in the past not to release checks with my name signature on it without being approved by the board. And it's happened again, so I'm going to remove my name from the automatic signatures, and I'll have to sign checks physically in the future.
Okay. Next time. Make sure we do it correctly, please. Okay.
And I don't even know if we had, I don't even know if it was checked with the treasurer to see if we had the actual cash on hand. I know it's in the budget, but I know the cash, if you look at our cash reports, which might even be on, we're quite short on cash. Wanted to point that out.
Okay. Roll call?
Strauss?
Yeah.
Pascal?
Yeah.
Hoagland?
Yeah.
Brown?
Yes.
Majeski? Pittsford?
Yes.
Thank you.
Karen.
I appreciate all your work on that, and Dale certainly thanks you for having a vehicle that's not going to strand him on the side of the road. So, thanks.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Stephanie, will you take number 2, please?
Motion to approve the coronavirus emergency supplemental funding grant award in the amount of $27,456.62 to reimburse a portion of the sheriff's department overtime and allow the chair to sign the contract.
Second?
I'll second it.
Motion made by Stephanie, seconded by David. Any discussion? Nothing? Roll call, Lori?
Brown?
Yes.
Hoagland?
Yes.
Pascal?
Yes.
Majewski,
Yes.
Strauss.
Yep.
Pittsford.
Yes. Motion carried. On the physical resources, spraying contact for the gypsy moths.
There was I included an email in there with regards to the spraying contract. And Mike's aerial spraying, they're the ones that did the spraying for us last time. And they're asking for the Board of Commissioners consideration to allow them to do that again and enter into a contract with them without having to go out for bid.
Are there any other companies, just so we know that it's really a decision or not, or if we're just gonna have to do it?
No, I believe that there is one other company which is outside of the state that submits a bid for this. But they're the ones that we've always selected.
Okay, I just wanted to know if there was anyone else, because, if there's no one else, why are we, anyway.
Are we spending about $1 million? So how can we not put that out for bids and just say, here you go, this is your job? I think we have to. Or it would be.
Can I speak?
Mhm.
My board would like to express, there is very few bids. We've submitted bids and per policy in years past, and Al's have been the only one, along with another county or another company out of state. Seeing gypsy moths are a time-sensitive issue, and with the COVID-19 and price going up, because the whole state of Michigan has heavily been infested, so supply and demand, our board recommended that we stick with Al.
Right, but
I understand.
but even though you didn't get a lot of bids on it, it's still the process that we have to go through. And we really want to try and maintain consistency at the county with our process. So whether you get 2, 3, 1 bid, no bids,
I still think it needs to go out.
we still have to go through the
It's
process.
time sensitive, do it now.
Where is Al out of?
Ovid.
So you said you have bid it out or you haven't yet?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I think, I agree with Jeff. I think it needs to be bid out, even if it's the process that we go through and we don't get any in other than his. We've still held true to our process and the way we do business at the county.
I'm thinking getting a plane once I leave here myself, so.
Is there any minimum time that we have to have it out for bid?
Yes.
There is?
Yeah, if it's over a certain amount of money, if it's over $100,000, it has to go into an actual RFP. It has to be out to bid for 30 to 45 days.
Right.
Okay, I wanted to know the minimum time we have to have it out for. And you think about this.
Okay,
I think it should go out as soon as possible, so they're all set when the time comes to start spraying.
so go ahead and put that out for bids. Even if you do choose the same one, that's what we'll have to do. So,
And the next item I had on there was committee discussion. I just wanted to suggest to the county board that possibly 1 or 2 of the county commissioners get involved in the gypsy moth process. I do know that knows all that, but I also believe that it's in the county's best interest. 1 or 2 of you to be involved in the decisions that they're making for our county.
Well, maybe that's something we can add when we do the committee appointments in January.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know if we need 2 commissioners, but maybe just 1.
Okay.
So maybe add that as a committee.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be there, but I would say that you guys, who are gonna still be here, more information you have, the better it is for when you're trying to make decisions.
Well,
I've always tried to go to departments and see what's going on, so.
It was such a hot topic last year and it's going to be proven to be a hot topic this coming summer. With just the amount of egg masses that are out there. So I know we get out in our township meetings, we get hammered a lot on questions that we can't answer. So maybe that's gonna help us get a little bit more informed.
Most calls I ever had as a commissioner was on gypsy moths, so probably we should put some concern to that.
Okay, we'll handle that in January when that
Yep.
comes. Dale, you take number 2.
Motion to enter into a interlocal agreement with the county designated assessor with the townships pursuant to MCL 211.10G of paragraph 4 per the state tax commission.
Second,
I'll second it.
a motion made by Dale, second by Jeff. Discussion? Is Pete out there? Does he have anything? I know we talked about it, but
I just want to make sure that I was reading this correctly. There's no fees sent to that assessor until they're needed for audit purposes, correct?
Right, yep.
nobody? Nothing? Okay, roll call, Lori.
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Hoefling,
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsford.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay. What's 3 about, Tracy?
We have received a proposal for some of the airport properties that were across from Best Do It Center and American Waste. It's right out there by the transit. And we have received a proposal from the Best Do It Center for the purchase of those properties, those vacant properties. And I do have a document here from the county transit that states, and the resolution that was made by the county board that, hold on just a second. That the county transit would have option of first refusal for lots 14 and 15. And from what I'm understanding from when I talked to Tom Pernstall, it's lot 14 that they're more concerned about because it's the most vacant lot next to the solar panels. So I don't know if how the county board wants to proceed. The proposal was for 14 through 18. Those lots. And if you want to ask, to go back and ask them to give us a proposal, a revised proposal for 15 through 18. Because transit has the right of first refusal for 14.
No, we would almost have.
Yeah.
You have to do that. If transit has the first right, we have to, we don't have a choice.
All right, I will, I have that proposal, but I will make contact and we'll get that revised.
Are we able to see how much property it is, like size of the properties?
Yep, I have it right here. The lots are 190.43 by 457.5. You can see the lots here.
Okay.
So
Jeff, want to take 4A?
are we good with that?
Huh?
Are we all set with that?
I
Or is there
could
something?
explain a little bit on that,
Okay,
even though I cannot vote or whatever, but I'll speak for the lumberyard here. Is we're basically out of room where we're at because we've either leased and or we've leased both our other lots. And we felt that if we would buy more for future expansion, we'd have that on the table. Plus it would actually put that into the tax base also. Instead of sitting there drawing no taxes, but So we would probably buy whatever the county would. We have no problem with not giving the 14. It was just vacant, so we put the proposal in for that. And like I said, I cannot vote or will not vote on it anyway, so. Where am I at?
4A.
Can I make a comment real quick on the motions? I will need to have the motions done in 2 separate motions for each one because I'd like, I need to separate Carol Majewski from the motion so Dale can vote on the motion for all the staff and then Dale can abstain from voting on the motion if it includes my employee Carol Majewski since they are married.
For both motions or just for one of them?
So we're gonna okay it for everybody and then deny it for her?
No. Well, hopefully that's not the case, but a motion for the payment for all the staff and then a motion for the payment for Carol so that Dale can abstain from one, but yet he can vote on another.
Lori, is this for the $50 or the 2%, or is this for both of them?
It's
You
gonna
need,
be
like,
for
4
both.
motions.
It's going to be for both because Carol Majewski, as you know, is the assistant director here. And I need to include her in the things here. But it also, I feel that Dale should be able to vote on senior services. But if it has to do with Carol, I would like to have the motion separate so that he can still vote on our motions, but abstain for voting when it has to do with Carol. I don't know how the board feels about that, but I just want to make sure that we're doing everything the right way.
I kind of feel that's the wrong way, but
Yeah,
that's my belief.
I agree. I think it sort of has to be together.
Is Dale legal to vote on it?
I think both fall under the umbrella of the whole division in which Carol is under.
According to the auditor, as long as he's voting on it for the whole, for the department as a whole, and it's not just for her.
And I feel that's right.
Right.
But that was the
Because you
reason-
voted on insurance.
Right, that was the whole
Covered
reason
by her.
for separating the two, so that I could abstain from the vote, not vote for or not vote against. I can abstain from the vote.
I don't think it should be
with her.
separated.
I mean, you
think
can still
should be able to
abstain if you
vote.
want.
If it's legal for you to vote, you can vote.
As long as you guys are okay with all of it, it's your deal. I just want to make sure that everything's fine.
Well, I think it's better for her. I don't feel it's right that
I do too,
it
personally.
passes because everybody else gets something and then she doesn't because it's for her husband. Her husband's on the board. I think everybody should vote on it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Absolutely 100%. I just didn't want him to have to abstain. I mean, there's like
I
60
understand.
employees here.
I feel that would be almost look a little shady if we
I think it'll pass.
Separate it.
Abstain anyway, so.
Okay, perfect. I like it.
motion to allow for a $50 payment per month to Clare County Senior Service and Community Development employees capable of working from home, which equates to 8 employees through fiscal year 2021 or until remote work is not necessary, whatever comes first.
Second,
I'll support it.
motion made by Jeff, seconded by Leonard. Any discussion?
What is the $50 for? Is it for internet? Is it for expenses that are occurring?
It's for internet. We have staff. There are a couple of us that have had the internet that we need, but we have staff that had to get, like they have satellite internet, and then they had to get additional unlimited satellite internet so that they could do what they needed to do from home. And they've been doing this since the beginning. I'm not asking for retro. I'm just asking to now, but maybe not reimburse them, but to pay them until the end of this, because of how much internet that they are using when they're home.
Does the rest of the county employees get this?
No, this would just be them.
And our fund, and it would come out of our funds, and we get reimbursed for COVID dollars too. Our funds are different than the general fund.
Something we have to vote on? You don't have the authority to pay the internet for the people that are working from home?
I don't. You have to
Any
vote on
payment
it.
has to be approved by the board.
Lori, I have a question. How much internet is really necessary for your employees? I don't know how much
Okay.
you guys work from home. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Well, we stagger our hours and we have to get into the network. So we have our BSNA and our Care Advantage, which are two separate. And then we also have our Mixie system so that we can, when the office phone rings, you can answer it through your computer, through your internet, and you can actually transfer the call to a different extension, even if you are working remotely. So it just depends. Everybody's staggered, so we're not all working at the same time in the office. So we use it a lot. We use it.
I understand the
I mean,
funds.
they had to get, in order to be able to do this, I have staff that had to get the internet to be able to do this.
So you would say it was pretty intensive in the usage, or?
Oh, definitely. We have to be available. We start at 5:30 in the morning generally. And some of us are, depends on the weeks. We stagger hours 7 days a week until 7 to 9 at night. And I believe like the case coordinators are probably working from home 3 days a week to 4 days a week. It just depends on, how many people are going to be in the office at the time and how many people are going to be at home. I can't see that. Am I still on there?
We can hear you if that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
I feel if people are required to work from home, that probably the county should do something for their internet. But also on the other hand, I have a problem with these kinds of decisions because we're making a decision for one department and not the whole county, which I'm not against that, but to make it for one department, I've learned, and I've got bit by this as a young commissioner, that making a decision for one department, and not the whole county, may make sense for that department, but it also causes other departments to be mad and angry about it, which they should.
Yeah, that's my opinion as well.
It does cause. I understand that it does. Sometimes I'm not sure exactly why, because our funds are different. None of our expenses, nothing comes out of the general fund. So if we're low and we can't afford something, I have to cut back. Like I have to lay somebody off, or I have to do my own debt reduction plan. Nothing comes out of the county. So when you make a decision to, let's just say increase everybody's wages by 3%. If we can't afford that, you make the decision to increase everybody's wages by 3% and we can't afford that, I'm going to have to cut something somewhere in order to do it. But I have to figure out how to create the revenue coming in and, balance it with the expenses going out. So it's different than coming from the general fund. It's just, it's always been different. We're always separate. We pay our own bills. I don't know how else to explain it. If we're not generating the money coming in, then we have to make the decisions to cut or get rid of, or because we're not going to be able to be rescued by the county, by the general fund.
I do have one question. And I don't want this to come off as anything negative. I'm just trying to remember. Earlier in the year, didn't we have the auditors come in and tell us that the senior services have been deficit last year and we had to go into a corrective action agreement?
Well,
the
first
state?
of all, yes, actually, at the end of the year last year, our funds come in, we're 2 months behind. So our revenue comes in 2 months behind. And so I brought this to your attention. We, at the end of November, when the books close, we were at a $6,000 deficit. Okay. So when we had revenue that were coming in, but we can't count that revenue until the following year. So I put together a deficit reduction plan because we were $6,000 under, which our millage starts coming back in December.
Okay.
And not only did we meet the deficit reduction plan that I put together, we exceeded it. And now we have a fund balance of over $111,000 or $116,000, which is great. That's wonderful. So if I can continue to do that, I mean, next year, if we have a fund balance, again, like we did this year, I'll probably ask for like a permanent increase for my staff.
Okay.
Because they haven't gotten one since 2015. But I have to wait and see how much revenue comes in and how we are in expenses when it goes out and when the revenue comes in. And we do have unforeseen expenses and we do have things that happen, but we did have a good fund balance this year. And in the building department, in the senior services department, and we do get reimbursed for things that we pay for for COVID. And I'd like to spend that money on the staff. And we're not in trouble. I mean, like our department is not in trouble.
I just want to, like I said before, this wasn't anything negative. I just want to make sure that we're not spending more money than we have. I've always been big on only spend what we have. If you guys are confident that you can spend this money, that's all right. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't.
And I'm glad that you asked that. It's like driving a barge through a very narrow yeah, definitely.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It is difficult, and it's something that we track very, very carefully every year. We've been doing this for 12 years now, and it's been going pretty good. One way or the other, I needed to ask for my staff. However you decide, you're the board. At the end of the day, it's your decision.
I do appreciate you bringing this to us, Lori.
Call for the vote.
Okay, roll call, Lori?
Haskell,
No.
Strauss,
Yes.
Hoefling,
No, I'm sorry. I can't do it for, it's one department. All the rest,
I'm sorry. Majewski,
Same.
Brown,
No.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion failed. Okay. Sorry, Lori.
Okay.
But with that being said, I've never thought about this, but with people having to work from home, maybe we ought to think about reimbursing some people with their internet on the county-wide scale. I feel that was a
I'm
good
not a ta-
motion. I voted no because it was for one department, not everybody, is why I voted no, so.
That was my
I'm,
problem. If we could find a way, maybe with some state, federal COVID relief funds for the
So just
entire
crazy
county.
and ask
you know?
if is there any grants out there for this type of thing, people working from home internet?
It's not new to the people who have always worked in the IT world to work from home. So it's usually a moot point and no
Yeah, I
reimbursement
guess
has ever asked for it.
Pays my wife's internet at home.
And
What's going on and working from home.
right. And from my limited knowledge of taxes, if you file 1040As, I do believe, you can use your internet as a tax deduction.
Okay,
Thank you.
2B.
Well, me?
Okay, does anybody want to do B?
No, I can't support this either. I'm sorry.
Anybody want to make the motion? B.
Yeah, I'll make the motion, throw it out there.
I have a second.
You want me to read
You
it?
want to read it?
Yeah, I'd like to read it. To allow for a 2% lump sum payment for all Clare County Senior Services and Community Development employees to be paid from those funds.
Second, so we can at least talk about it and vote on it.
I'll second it so we can vote on it.
Okay. Discussion, or do we want to vote?
I just, I've always been against lump sum payments, it's just,
Well, it's hard for us,
I
especially
know.
this, we did this in 2018. Sometimes it's hard for us to do an increase, a permanent increase, because I don't know what, we may have a 15% reduction in our funding, or, there's a lot of different variables. And I did this in 2018 in lieu of a permanent increase. And we didn't do it last year because we didn't have the funds. And I would like to do it this year for my staff. But it's in your hands.
I'm sorry, Lori. I sympathize. I understand why you're doing it. I really wish that we could do something for the employees, especially, with Christmas right around the corner. One of my major sticking points again is just, it's one department, and, the entire county departments just took a healthcare hit. They agreed not to go higher with some of the wages. And just, even if it is just a one-time thing, it's still sort of like a bonus or a wage increase. And yeah, I really sympathize with the employees, and I sympathize, I understand why you're asking for this. I just personally don't think I can support this motion. That's all.
Do you
roll
realize-
call.
Can I just say one more thing? When we do have comparable wages as far as what the job is for other council on agings, which are generally private nonprofit organization. So, but we're county government. We have, that was something that we established 12 years ago, establishing the council on aging here in the county. So, but you compare us to other departments, and when people hire in to the county and are paid in the general fund, they're hired in, my kitchen staff are hired in at, well, right now they're making $10.60 an hour. My in-home workers are making $11.65 an hour. My caseworkers aren't even making what the one union person I have that works for me. My caseworkers aren't even making that. Nobody's complaining about it, but these are things that I would like you to look at and consider. So if it's, I mean, I'm not saying that we need to like move these wages up because we can't afford that. That's not how it works for our organization. We can't afford to pay those wages. However, at the end of the year, we can afford a total cost of under $14,000 to give them an increase in lieu of an actual permanent increase. That's what I'm asking for.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm sorry, I still can't say yes.
Okay.
Perhaps other board members can, but I personally cannot agree to this.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate your honesty.
I'd rather, tell you up front than just surprise you at the end. So I respect you too much to do that.
Thank you very much.
Roll call, Lori.
Strauss,
Yeah.
Haskell,
No.
Hoagland,
No.
Brown,
No.
Majewski,
Same.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion failed.
Thank you.
Tracy? Drain Commissioner?
I passed out, several documents of the drain commissioner's travel for the end of the 2020 budget year. He did not submit those. Under the code, he is entitled to travel pay. He didn't have a lot of the funds left over in his budget. And he came to the finance committee and asked the finance committee to consider paying these, and they suggested bringing it to the board. So
This will come out of this fiscal year.
it'll come out of the 2020 budget year, not 2020.
So it's gonna take him just this much short on this year's budget then.
Yes,
So what's
and there's roughly $1,900 there. He has 3,000 in his travel for this year.
1,900 total here.
Roughly, yes.
I asked him when he was at our meeting, like last Monday, because I had made the motion that we, in that, pay mileage, which I included the board here. He said his understanding was that because we were in some financial difficulties, he didn't turn the stuff in, trying to be of a help. But he has been entitled to mileage all along. So even though it goes against our policy, I would recommend that we back pay him on this here. I might be saying the president, I'm leaving here. I don't know what you guys think about it.
Just a reminder, the drain commission, under the drain code, he is entitled to his travel.
He was negligent of not turning it in on a timely manner. He gave his reasons. I would make a motion that we pay him when he's turned in here. Get it out there.
And in the next fiscal year to turn these in monthly rather than.
All right.
And he will be, he did state that he will be putting those on the assessments too. That he'll be including them in the assessments.
So you made the motion, Leonard?
I made a
Have a
motion.
second?
A second.
Okay, motion made by Leonard, second by Stephanie. Any discussion?
No,
No?
I'm ready to vote.
Okay. Roll call, Lori?
Strauss,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yeah.
Hoagland,
Yeah.
Majewski,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried.
We need to sign off on these investments there. How's that going? How is it?
I have the originals here if you want to sign off on those.
Okay. Do you want to take under finance?
Statutory Finance Committee. Motion to approve statutory finance committee meeting minutes of October 19th, 2020 in the amount of $98,194.28. November 2nd, 2020 in the amount of $129,258.95. November 13th, 2020 in the amount of $81,814.84. And November 30th, 2020 in the amount of $104,960.98.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Stephanie, seconded by Jeff. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Brown,
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yeah,
Hoagland.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried.
does the whole board sign off on this or just the finance committee?
I think just
Finance.
If the finance committee signs on them, we'll have the motion in the packet to add to that, so it'll be fine.
Just the top copy, all we need, or we need to sign them all?
Fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Take two.
Yep.
The expenditures to approve the expenditures in the month of October 2020 in the amount of $3,907,599.64 with the general fund expenditures totaling $1,250,698.27 in the month of November. The amount of $1,244,000. The heck is that? Something's not right there.
Whoops, I got an extra number in there.
Extra two.
extra two.
Yeah. 82 cents with the general fund expenditures totaling $823,858.95.
Second,
I'll support it.
motion made by Dale, seconded by Leonard. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Majeski.
Yep.
Strauss,
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Hoagland.
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried. David, would you take 3?
Motion to approve the finance meeting dates as presented through December 2021 with dates consistent of the off week of payroll beginning at 9 a.m.
Second,
I'll second it.
motion made by David, second by Jeff. Discussion?
Explain that.
What?
So which date will it be for the December through December?
Do you think we ought to wait on 3 and 4?
Well,
Next
yeah,
month?
I thought we were gonna wait on 4, but probably should wait on this one too as well.
Because we're losing Leonard.
Yeah. I don't know who's gonna take those committees until.
I don't know, but
Sign 'em.
you have,
Can I raise my hand?
We've got one more meeting until till the end of the year, which was slated on
28th is our next finance meeting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Will there be one before the January board meeting?
yes,
yes.
yeah.
they
There'll be
will
one
have to
more.
do that one.
So all we do, I mean, if this is pertaining to 2021, why don't we just put off on this one like we did the other
The
one?
11th.
Because you may have a totally different finance committee come January.
Yeah.
So
You have to have one on the 11th.
we have to have one on the 11th. Oh, yeah, right, of January.
So what if we just say that we'll set the date for that one and then we'll have the next board decide the ones after that?
Right.
There you go. Through January 11th
Mhm.
11th.
Of 2021.
of 2021.
Okay,
That'll work.
roll call, Lori?
Hoagland,
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yeah,
Majeski.
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay. On to 4, we'll change that one to 2021 too. Right? We have to set the meeting. It has to be published.
So that meeting will be when? The
The 20th.
20th, yeah. So that would be January 20th.
Yep.
2021.
Dale, do you want to take
Sure,
that
to
one?
approve the board of commissioners minute, meeting dates through January 20th of 2021.
Second,
I'll second it.
motion made by Dale, seconded by Jeff. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Majewski.
Yep.
Haskell.
Yes.
Strauss.
Yes.
Hoagland.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Jeff, you want to take 5?
Motion to approve the defined benefit plan adoption agreement addendum for division numbers 180, 2111, 1802022, 180200101, 180200102, 1802011, 1802021.
Second,
I'll second it.
motion made by Jeff, seconded by David. Any discussion? Tracy?
This was paperwork that we had to complete through MERS, some new paperwork that they had. It is not changing any of the current MERS plans or anything that we already currently have in place. It is just completing the new paperwork. That's it.
Is there a list somewhere of all of these divisions? Because I mean, I understand, UAW 1 and 2, but
If in the packet, if you look at the first page of each of those, it will tell you, like the 180200122 is the police, fire, and it's police and fire, basically. And we can also give you a copy of MERS actuarial that has all of those listed too.
I know I had a question on one of the classifications had a clothing reimbursement. I don't.
We have one that does.
Page 103, UAW units 111. Just clarification on who and what.
That one is the courts.
Okay.
And that's according to whatever they have within their contract. I know that there's a couple of the sheriff's department units that have a clothing allowance in theirs.
Set them. Roll call, Lori?
Haskell.
Yes.
Hoagland.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Strauss.
Yes.
Majewski.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried. David, you want to take 6?
Of course. Motion to approve the highlighted changes to the personnel policy to reflect corrections to the health insurance and to add donations for sick time.
Second,
I'll second it.
a motion made by David, seconded by Jeff. Any discussion?
Explain it.
Explain the health insurance is just updating current health insurance that we have. And then the donation of sick time, all of the units, the union units currently are allowed to donate sick time to people if they are to ask for it. And the non-union did not have that included, so we're asking that it be included in that.
So, okay, the non-union can donate sick time, which the union already can do that also.
Yes, they can already do that.
Donate and or accept.
Correct. There are stipulations as to sick time, like if a person that is makes more money is donating sick time to a person of the lesser amount. There's a formula that we use that would, they would end up getting more sick time out of it because the person
It's
giving.
equal hours.
Yes, yes. We use that formula when we're doing that.
I know it's, we're seeing pieces of this policy. Has there been any verbiage added regarding about the use of unprecedented times and COVID leave and quarantining and hazard pay and those kind of things? Have these policies been updated to reflect that information in the event that grants become available and whatnot in the future?
We do not have anything related to COVID in any of the union contracts or the non-union contract, although we do have a COVID plan, which does include parts in there relating to COVID sick time. And I can give you a copy of that.
Roll call, Lori?
Hoagland,
Yes.
Pascal,
Yes.
Kraus,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yep.
Pittsburgh.
Motion carried. Leonard, do you want to take 7?
Number 7.
Looks like we have an option here.
Let me see, or both of them, okay, motion. Adopt resolution -2030, lending an additional 20,000 to eliminate the deficit for the Veterans Freedom Park Fund and approve the updated pro forma.
You can
Or
only make one
one
motion,
at a
so you
time.
have to pick which one you want to.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah.
Can I read them both or not?
No, because then you have two motions out there, so you have to,
All right,
you have to pick one motion and then.
all right, okay, now,
I can, would you like me to explain it?
yeah,
Okay, so we have a deficit for
thank you, Larry.
this last budget year, we had a deficit in the Veterans Freedom Park fund.
We loaned them 180,000 or something like that.
160.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I'll just go back there.
So if you were to add that, it'd be in a 180. But they ended in a deficit, so we have to do a deficit elimination plan and submit that to the state. So in a conversation that I had with Jenny, these are the two options you have. One, you can lend them an additional $20,000 and eliminate the current deficit. Or you can tack on an additional 2 years to allow them to pay it, to continue to pay it, but there's still going to be a deficit in the in that fund.
So I can read either one I want to choose and see if it goes up or down. Then it can, then you say I read one and it fails, do you go the other one or
Well, basically,
both fail?
we're putting the money out now to take care of the deficit, or we're gonna extend the loan. That's
Right.
basically what the two are. So if we want to take the money out of contingency,
Well, basically, you're going to end up forking out the money for it one way or the other. But you're adding an additional 2 years. And from what I understand from Jenny, she's already got the money for this year. And I don't know if Jenny has anything she'd like to add. If Renee is out there and wants to talk about this at all,
Renee.
Haley,
Really?
because she's still overseeing that as well.
And the money's been coming in, correct, down through the years?
Yes. Jenny's been taking that out of there. That appropriation each year to cover that payment.
Will they resume? It looks like there's 2 years where grants were not applied for. Will grants be sought after?
Well, I know this last year they had issues with some funds because of COVID, and they have a 5K that they do, other types of fundraising things.
Stuff we couldn't do this year because
Right.
If we extended the loan rather than giving the extra 20,000, would that be all right with them? It would prevent, we're just starting to recover and we have a surplus this year, but if we keep giving money out, it's gonna, vanish overnight. And, I would like to hold the money in reserve in case, this COVID crisis goes for the rest of the year, God forbid. So if we did the loan extension, would that help them and wouldn't have to pay any more money, or would we still have to pay money?
There's still-
It's not so much helping them as it's causing problems for us because we have to submit for a deficit elimination plan. And we've already extended the 5 years that the state allows. So they are, when we go to enter in for our qualifying statement to get our tax anticipation note for next year, they're going to deny our qualifying statement. And we're gonna have to submit for that in writing,
So we would be better off just doing the one that Leonard just read.
the 20,000.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, I was trying to talk. I was trying to talk, but I was thinking that you guys couldn't hear me. Right now, currently, the loan is from the DTRF. So if the delinquent tax fund, I'm sorry. So if you were to forgive that, it would be coming from the DTRF, not the general fund. I just wanted to make that clarification.
Okay.
So,
Do that one.
I want to explain. She's saying a $20,000, she's not talking the $20,000. She's talking about forgiving the loan completely.
No.
No.
Just the payment, just enough to get them through the,
So the $20,000.
yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, Jenny. I misunderstood.
No problem. I didn't go into that detail, so I'm glad you corrected
Let
that.
me read the first one.
Yep, the one that Leonard originally read. Sounds good to me.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Leonard, second by Dale.
I thought David had some good thoughts there on the number 2 also.
We have a roll call, Lori?
Strauss,
Yeah,
Majeski.
Yep.
Hopefully,
I'm gonna have to say no, just because it's the money.
Brown,
Yes.
Casco,
Yes.
Pittsford.
Yes, motion carried. Okay, now on to the appointments. Stephanie, we would take A.
Motion to reappoint Lori Phelps to a 2-year term to the Clare County Collaborative Council with term to end 12/31/2022.
I'll support it.
A motion made by Stephanie, second by Dale. Discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Brown,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes,
Majeski.
Yep.
Casco,
Yep.
Hopefling.
Yeah.
Pittsford.
Yes, motion carried. Dale, will you take B?
Sure. To reappoint Robert Mester to the 2-year term of the Board of Appeals Construction Board with the term to end 12/31/2022.
Second,
Second.
motion made by Dale, second by Jeff. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Majeski.
Yep.
Casco,
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Hopefling,
Yes.
Strauss,
yeah,
Pittsford.
Motion carried. Jeff, you want to take C?
Motion to reappoint Michael Tobin to a 2-year term to the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Governing Board and Sandra Bristol to the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Advisory Council with the term to end on 12/31/2022.
I'll second it.
Made by Jeff, seconded by Dale. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Casco,
Yes.
Majeski.
Yep.
Strauss,
yes,
Brown,
Yes.
Hopefling.
Yep.
Pittsford.
Yes. Motion carried.
Thank
Jeff, you
you for all
take-
those.
Mm-hmm.
Dale, will you take B?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take the 2019 or 2009 out of the middle of that motion, please.
Yeah.
2009.
I was having issues with when we went to print.
Is that a nickname, 2009? A motion to reappoint Eddie Erskine, Connie Couchy, and Kim Kennicott, and appoint Rick Jones to a 2-year term to the Clare County Airport Board with term to end December 31st, 2022.
Second,
Yeah.
motion made by David, second by Jeff. Any discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Hoagland,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yep.
Strauss.
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes. Motion carried. Leonard, do you want to take E?
Yeah, I sure would. William's a friend of mine. To reappoint William Zastro to his 4-year term to the Soldiers and Sailors Relief Board with the term to end 11/30/2024.
Second,
I'll second.
motion made by Leonard, second by Jeff. Any discussion?
Strauss,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Stephanie, will you take E? Sorry, F.
Motion to appoint Luke Potter to a 4-year term to the DPW Board of Representatives, City of Clare, and Jason Walters for the Village of Farwell with a term to end 9/30/2020.
A second.
The date,
9/30/2020 is already over.
yeah.
Would that be 2024,
4-year term,
Yeah, but the end date still has to change.
the 2024?
2024.
Okay. Roll call, Lori?
I didn't hear who seconded that.
I did.
Thank you. Brown,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yep.
Strauss.
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Dale, will you take A, please?
Motion to adopt resolution 2026 and a special tribute to Jack Kleinhardt for 13 years of service to Clare County.
I'll support that.
Resolution was made by Dale, second by Leonard. Any discussion? Roll call?
Majewski.
Yep.
Strauss.
Yes.
Haskell,
Yeah.
Hoagland.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Jeff, you want to take B?
Well, I don't know if I can read that. Motion to adopt resolution 20-27 and special tribute to Leonard Strauss for 10 years of service to Clare County.
Second.
Motion made by Jeff, second by Stephanie. Discussion?
Leonard, thank you for serving. You know, it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with you.
Very fun.
A pleasure.
Mhm.
We will miss your commentary.
Mhm.
And you got one finance meeting left, remember that.
That's right.
I wasn't know if I'm gonna show for that, but I'll see.
Roll call, Lori?
Haskell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Yeah.
Strauss.
Yeah.
Majewski.
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. David, you want to take C?
Of course. Motion.
D.
What?
Just kidding.
Okay, motion to adopt resolution 20-28 in special tribute to Mark Fitzpatrick for 2 years of service to Clare County.
Second,
A second.
motion made by David, second by Dale. Roll call, Lori?
Hoagland,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yes.
Strauss.
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, motion carried. Leonard, you want to take D?
Yes, it would. Motion to adopt resolution 20-29 and special tribute to David Hoffling for 2 years of service to Clare County.
Second? Motion made by Leonard, second by Jeff. Roll call, Lori?
Strauss.
Honored to say yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Abstain.
Brown,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yes.
Fitchburg.
Yes. Motion carried. Stephanie, you want to take 10?
Budget adjustments. Girl. Motion to approve budget adjustment 2103, 2104, 2105, 2106, 2107, 2109, and 2110 in the amounts of $16,293.52, $29,553.20, $41,663.75, $74,000, $102,823, $39,000, and $27,895.
Seconded by Dale. Discussion? Roll call, Lori?
Brown,
Yes.
Majewski,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Haskell,
Yes.
Hoagland,
Yes.
Fitchburg.
Yes. Motion carried. Under your report, Lori?
Oh, I never report. It's been pretty quiet in my office. Unless anyone has questions about anything.
Election's over, yay.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're on to Jenny's report.
Good morning. It has not been quiet in my office. It has been still pretty busy. With us being shut down, we have created our drive-through service again in between the courthouse and the sheriff department to help people out that we had just sent out all of the dog notices to start getting the dog license revenue in. And so about the time we shut down, that went out at the same time. So we still have our drive-through service going through, and it usually gets pretty busy. A lot of the townships are using it as well to come and give us our information. I left on your desks the cash and fund balance report, and that's as of yesterday's date. That tells you the exact cash balance of every fund and what the current fund balance is for every fund. If you have any questions, just let me know. With us being shut down with the COVID restrictions, the county is obviously not getting a lot of revenue that it may see, especially with the service revenues that we have. So, it's the cash is a little tight. I also sent in front of you our long-term debt report. And the one highlighted in green shows you how the year ended fiscal year 2020 with our long-term debt issue. And I also added in, since then, we've been working, we've done 2 bond issues, one for the senior services, Claire Meal Site Center, and then we just issued the drain bond in the amount of $8 million. So I've added that to that. I also broke them down for you so you could see how much it comes out of the general fund, and then each other department, the sheriff department, 911, senior services, etc. But a note for that is the county has pledged their full faith and credit on all of those. So in the event something can't be made, the county will make those. I just wanted to reiterate that. The land sales for my office have concluded. We sold all parcels, which is the first time since I've been here. We did not have any leftover parcels. With that, I have, with the money that came in for the ones we sold, we paid the delinquent taxes. They were all reimbursed. So the county is whole on that, but any additional monies are being held in contingency pending the Supreme Court ruling that they made. There's still lots of up in the air unknowns. We are, our organization, the Michigan Association of County Treasurers, has been working with a large group of people to try to get the statutes changed to where it would correct the Supreme Court ruling going forward. so far, the legislation has passed the House, or I'm sorry, it's passed the Senate unanimously. And it was supposed to go to the House, but with COVID and the House not working, they want to take only certain things. So we're really pushing for them to do this because it will throw the county into chaos if this continues without it being fixed. So I don't know if you can speak to any of legislatures, Representative Wentworth, and anyone else that you could think to talk to try to help push that through this year. If we have to wait, it is going to throw chaos into all counties, not just ours. I recommend that beginning in January, you start the ad hoc meetings again. We're potentially spending money we may not have, but it's something that we need to look into before we get too excited. But it's definitely something I think we may do. Because of the COVID restrictions, we are not having a rabies vaccination clinic this year. We used to do the one-stop shop out at the animal shelter where they would provide the vaccinations for the dogs, and my office would go out there and sell the licenses. But due to COVID, there's really, the vet didn't really see a way that they could do that. So right now, the rabies vaccination clinics are canceled. Taxpayers will have to go to see the regular vet. The show cause hearing that I do here in my office is scheduled for Thursday, January 21st from 10 to 4. This is for anyone that is in danger of losing their home due to back taxes and will not be able to pay by March 31st. They would come in front of me for a hearing, and I'm working out how to do that if we still have the COVID restrictions. I may have to ask Tracy to use maybe the boardroom or something, but anyways, looking into that. And if it's something I won't be able to do at my level to help out, there is a judicial foreclosure hearing that is Thursday, February 18th at 9. And then just a note, all of the Board of Review adjustments for all 19 units in Clare County are starting to come in as we speak. I just got 3 of them in my email, and I had 1 hand delivered yesterday. So we are still working pretty hard down here. Does anybody have any questions?
The show cause was January 4th, you said?
January 21st from 10 to
21st.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome.
I do not have anything to report, but you do.
Yep.
Jeff?
No.
David?
Finance.
Well, this will probably be, actually it is my final commissioner's report. I just would like to thank you all for having me. I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with a couple times, you know. We've had our disagreements, but I did appreciate all the conversations that we've gone through. I would just like to reiterate, I agree with Jenny. You guys are going to need to keep a really close eye on the budget. I think that going forward, you're going to want to reinstitute those meetings we voted on, you know, the first Wednesday of every month at 9 a.m. We were supposed to be having those meetings. If it was in the current form as the last ones, or perhaps something else, maybe a little more informal, whatever. I really think you guys need to keep up the progress we've made. You know, I came on the board 2 years ago. We had a really big deficit, okay? And over these last 2 years, we've worked really hard to turn things around. And I would be incredibly saddened to see all of our hard work, all the hard work of the department heads, all of the sacrifice of the employees, all the willingness of our constituents to help us out go for naught. We really need to make sure going forward, the county stays in a good fiscal health. So just please, you know, I'm going to be here as a constituent. This is my home, Clare County. I just really want to see the community I love prosper. So just please keep up the good work. I've been going to my meetings, not really much happening. You know, with COVID, hard to have more than 10 people in a room. So just, you know, sum up, thank you all for having me. Good luck.
You, David.
Mhm.
Last one, Leonard.
The last one?
Last, well, yeah.
I got a few things to say. It's been an honor to serve Clark County as a board member here. And I just want to say, if I had on a selfish point on my part, if I wasn't a county commissioner, I wouldn't have known a single person here in this room, not one of you. And I've been a widower now for 2 years and a month. And the friends that I've made here, and I voted against people here who wanted me to vote for things, and I've voted against them, and I've made comments about them, and vice versa. We haven't always agreed. But the love that has been shown to me by people here in Clark County is swelled my heart up. I got nobody else talk much other than David. I get some time to share. My family and my wife's family were neighbors in Indiana during the Civil War period. And then in the late 1800s, my family came to Michigan, and then followed 18 years later by my wife's family. And then my wife and I were neighbor kids. I know her for 65 years. I just missed 51 years of being married to her. Ms. Brown here, that picture over there, that humble log cabin was from the Newman family. That's my wife's grandfather. The Newman family gave us J.J. Poet down there. Poets are from the Newman family. Warner Petroleum, south of town here, the big oil producing company, refineries in Detroit, or the Newman family. Mrs. Stevenson at the Lyman Funeral Home, it was the Newman family. Newman School of Dance, she has a lot of history there. My whole life believed in me. I just want to thank, like I said, the people here, especially the last 2 years, have been a real comfort to me. Like I wouldn't have known any of them, like Sheriff John and Under Sheriff Midge, have taken me in. Michelle, the prosecutor, Lori Phelps, Jack Kleinhardt, Jenny, the treasurer, Lori, the clerk here, Tracy, Sam and Ken, they've taken me in like a son they don't have, part of the family. I can't thank them. The group of friends that I've had here that have really supported me and taken me in has meant tremendous to me. And I wouldn't have had this support if I hadn't had the selfish act of being a commissioner. Ricky Fankin's going to replace me, smarter than I am. He'll be an upgrade. Just want to thank you all for loving me, taking care of me. I was a little upset, Dave, when you beat my good friend Karen, but I got over it. You're a good conservative guy, and I appreciate your strong thinking. And Karen was special to me. We didn't start out good. She had the police after us as the first couple of months I was in as a commissioner on an Open Meetings Act. Her and Lynn Grimm. But Karen and I, we got over it, and she became a real good friend. Our spouses died within 2 hours of each other on the same day. And then we lost her. It's been a good ride, and I'm going to be 76 in January the 5th, and I didn't want it to be said, hey, Strauss stayed on too long. Maybe I did stay on too long as it was, but I just want to say thank you to Clark County and everyone in here. I don't know Ms. Brown, but you're a lot prettier than Jack. Dale's been a good friend, and I got to meet Jeff and all of you. I just thank you for caring for me.
It's been an honor to work with you, Leonard.
Love you, Leonard.
Love you too, buddy. I didn't say that you've taken me out for dinner. You've even paid a couple times.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Special in my heart. I don't know if there's other people maybe I could have mentioned, but These were really, and Jody, has befriended me. But not a single one of these people I would have met if I hadn't been a Clare County Commissioner. It's been a true blessing to me. It really has. I don't have that many friends to begin with, and for you people to like me, it's very special. Thank you.
Do you have anything, Stephanie?
No, I'm good. I'm excited to be here, I guess. I'm looking forward to the next 2 years.
Okay, we're back to public comment.
Not seeing any hands raised.
Okay, no unfinished business, no new business. We are adjourned.
Did a lot of work in a short time.